Good afternoon.
Hi, is this David?
This is. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. This is Carol. I work for Ryan, and he's doing his podcast right now. Are you still wanting to be a guest on there? He's about ready to have you on.
I am. Bring it on, Carol.
Okay. I'm going to transfer you over to the podcast. You'll hear him talking, and he'll call you in within just like a minute or two.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, after the case was all said and done, all Carol had to do was 1 week at the Saginaw County Jail, and then there's like some kind of restitution of $20,000, I think it was, over the next 5 years. But truth be told, she isn't even worried about that. She's more worried about her safety because, you know, and it's given her a lot of anxiety, and she's built up quite the hate fan club locally because of what happened. So, anyways, up next, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this a little more, but we're gonna bring in a professional. So we're gonna talk about rebooting the brain, getting stress out of your life, and feeling good right after this. And we are back. I'm Ryan Token. This is Reasonable Sanity Podcast. With us today, we have a very special guest, David Bronski. Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me on the show, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have you. To tell a little more about you, you do a process called the brain rebooting process, which takes care of it helps with a lot of ailments in life based on everything I've read about it. And it's not even a very invasive procedure. It simply, you're just lay down and you kind of manipulate the neck a little bit, and then it resets the brain, as you put it. Take the next 30 seconds or so and kind of expand on that for my audience, if you could.
You're electrical, you're energetic. Your brain is what is running the show. It's running your body. It's prioritizing and using its life energy, very similar to a battery. You either recharging or discharging. You know, you're sleeping, rest and recovery, or you're out working, trying to, make a hustle. We're discharging more than we're recharging, and so over a period of time, too much unrelieved silent stress is undergone, and oftentimes people's lives are at the effect of it instead of being congruent and balanced the way that we're naturally supposed to operate from.
So is there just like an area that you shove on, that you push on, or is there like a button kind of nerve?
It's a better way to look at it as a button. Your main area, if you're to Control-Alt-Delete, if you're to hit an old reset button on an older computer, all you have to do is press the button, and your system innately takes over and knows exactly what to do and how to do it. So it's not like me having to do it or telling your body what it needs and how it's supposed to operate.
Let me ask you this then. Does it help with stress? Because our very own producer Carol, she is recently, I don't know if you heard about the incident at the St. Roy Feed the Hungry event, but Carol was one of those people that she had to go do a week in jail for that. And there's a lot of people who are still angry because they think she got let off lightly. And her anxiety is like through the roof. Like nothing's getting done around here. We haven't had an organized show in weeks. Does this method help anxiety and stress in that fashion?
The main culprit that this thing helps with is to help you release unwanted stress in a very effective way. It's the way it's visually seen, the way that we're talking and describing it now, and the way that you experience and feel thereafter do not match up. They don't collaborate together. So in a nutshell, yes, it's incredible in regards to releasing stress.
So I'm going to go into, I could go into Carol's booth right now and I could push. Is that what should I just like on the neck, or is it behind the ear, kind of, which spot?
What are you doing?
You are developed neurologically. The atlas is the top of your spine. Is the first area that basically is developed, neurologically.
Hold still, Carol. All right. So if I
kind of married here.
This, no, I'm trying to. Carol, we talked about.
You didn't even ask though.
Okay.
Well,
so
the other
I'm
thing
going to guess they got to be willing.
There's a bit of a process. That's the first step. Yeah, you kind of have to ask for permission. Yeah, that's helpful.
Okay, I understand. All right.
And yes,
so
you cannot do it to
everybody,
yourself.
Looks like the lines are lighting up a little bit. Looks like we got a question on line 1. Is that right, Carol?
Yeah, the line 1 and line 3.
Oh, great. Line 1, you're on the air with David. What's your question?
More of a comment than a question. I'm sure you recognize this voice, Ryan. Keep your goddamn hands off of my wife.
Oh,
We've talked about this.
I was trying. Sorry.
Honey, come on.
Sorry. It's just, it must be joking. We must all be joking. All right, looks like, let's go to line 4. Carol,
about that.
let's keep it to the listeners.
Hello. I had a question for the man. He's talking about
David,
how to reboot the brain and things like that. I was wondering how you would go about, if I may speak rawly, how to reboot the vagina. Like what to do, because it's like mine, it's not what it used to be. I've been to my doctors and all that and discussed how to pelvic floor, blah blah blah. But there's got to be like some point or something reboot the pussy.
Okay, so
I think that's outside my price range. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, but resetting doesn't do anything like for sexual release, or is it just getting rid of stress release and pain relief?
I mean, listen, having sex, having orgasm is a way to release stress. People are looking for different ways to release stress all the time. It's like having an elephant in the room, and we know it's there. We just don't know how to deal with it.
Are you saying that it's like there was an elephant in my vagina? Like it's all stretched? Is that what you're insinuating?
Hey, if that's what you're hearing from me, I guess that's one way to take it.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that, David. I'm sorry. Carol, disconnect. That was inappropriate. I'm so sorry about that. Let's go ahead and go to line 7 real quick. Line 7, what's your question for David?
Hi, David. I really like your metaphor of like doing a reboot for like a computer reboot for your brain. I feel like I want to do a reboot. I want to start fresh and everything, but I feel like I have unsaved work like in Notepad and untitled.txt. And I don't know, like before I do a reboot, should I save that or discard it?
That's going to be up to you. It's
well, I don't know because
I
don't know what sort of stuff's going to be lost or rebooting or any of that. I'm saying,
It's a fair question to ask. Sometimes you just kind of have to take a risk, and some things are not worth holding on to.
Well, because when I go to hit save, it's telling me that a file already exists with that, and it's asking me if I want to overwrite it, and then it's asking for administrative privileges to overwrite the file, and I don't want to do it. I don't know if I should or not.
A lot of this life choices actually comes down to really just letting go. There's a lot of this holding on, and I think, if anything at all, the invitation is to let it go.
Yeah. And you know what? That's good advice. You can hold on or you can let go, because I'm going to need you to hold on real quick. We just got to do looks like it's about a minute ad. We will be right back. So just hold on.
Great.
Hello, I'm scam expert Jeannie Ham Scott, and this is a helpful tip to protect yourself from scammers on the phone using real-life examples, because I'm an expert on that. In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you the dangers of ordering a pizza. That's right, pizza places can't be trusted either. They oftentimes hire subpar workers and professional scammers to operate their phones, so you have to be careful. But don't worry, I am going to show you how to safely order dinner and keep your personal identity safe at the same time using a real-life example. Because I'm the expert. Let's get started.
Domino's, will this be for delivery or carryout?
Hello, I would like to place a pizza order for delivery.
All right, can I get a name for the order?
This is the assistant of Jeannie Ham Scott.
Okay, so Jeannie Ham Scott?
It's not Jeannie, it's her assistant.
Excuse me?
This is the assistant of Jeannie Ham Scott.
All right. Okay, phone number?
My phone number is 566-735-140.
You're missing a number.
That's some lady's social security number, so just add a 2 at the end, and that's my number, I suppose.
All right, and what's your address?
Why do you need that? I bet you want to use that in some other scams, don't you? Not today, scammer. Well, It looks like I won't be getting pizza for dinner tonight. But that's okay. I have some food at home anyways. Plus, I just invented the idea of hanging up the phone in anger without announcing it. But I think we will save that topic for next time. I have a book to write first. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and stay scam-free. Because I'm an expert on that.
And we are back. I'm Ryan Token. This is Reasonable Sanity Podcast. With us is David Bransky. Go to brainrebootstudio.com to learn more. David, the techniques that you use, do they overlap at all with like the practices, or is this a total separate thing?
It is a total separate thing. Even though visually it looks similar, it is a very separate thing.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. I was wondering that quite a bit, so it's good to know it's totally separate. Looks like we got a caller on line 5. Line 5, what's your question for David?
Yeah, hi, David. Do you do Reiki work?
I don't, but I mean, it's kind of in the same circle. You do run into people who favor that. It's it's something I support, but it's very, very, very subtle. This is a lot more of like slamming on a light switch in comparison to Reiki.
Yeah. Could you move a little closer to your window there so I can see a little better? I want to see your body.
What? Are you talking to me or
Hello?
David?
David, can you move close to the window so I can see you a little better? Turn
Which
the light
window
on so
are
I
you
can see your
referring to?
silhouette.
Okay, Carol.
Yeah.
Carol,
One
go
right
ahead.
there.
I'm gonna hang up. There's another call on line 9. Sorry
All right.
about that, David.
Line 9, you're on with David. What's your question?
Okay, yeah, I'm a big fan of this like resetting the brain thing. I've
Okay.
experienced this myself a little bit, and I just wanted to share like in my journey of like resetting the brain. Like sometimes you have to do external things. Like I just was wondering if you had to do like other like physical resetting. Like in my journey, I used a lot of electricity, like hooking the wires and.
Can you elaborate?
Well, you're saying
ahead.
it's like resetting the brain is like a light switch. So now that really helped. We take that kind of thing to heart, and they hooked me right up, and then I had a light switch.
Okay.
I mean,
What-
if you've experienced positive changes in your life, I think you should stay with it.
Well, I really felt
Yeah.
like truly energized after. And
Was it an electrifying experience?
it kind of was.
The goal essentially is to have a lifestyle of reducing your stimulation on the regular. So
Yeah,
that means like
Ryan.
we're talking about
and this is why I
and-
need to rub on Carol. This is why I need to.
Okay, you should have asked again. You just snuck in here. You didn't even knock.
I know, but I need to put. She's been so stressed since her
Just
week
put
in
your
jail.
hands down the back of my
gotta
shirt.
I gotta push on her neck. Okay.
Yeah, my neck is not down the back of my shirt.
Well, it goes down there, right, David? The neck goes way down there, right?
I just think if one person in the relationship gets it, the other person should as well. I think Carol should actually learn how to do this to you.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think my
Yeah,
husband's
very
okay
fair,
with that.
but yeah.
What's David? I'm sorry, David. What are you talking about with electricity in the brain? Robot.
It's just a good analogy, just it being you, energetic and electrical being. So we need a pattern interrupt, a reset.
So there is no electricity in the brain then.
So he does think we're robots. I think that's what he's saying.
There's definitely electricity in the brain.
I thought it was an analogy.
Yeah,
All right.
it is an
You know what?
analogy.
I feel like this conversation's just gone completely off the rails. We had you here to reset Carol. Now you got her stressed out about what a fucking robot is. David, I'm sorry. I won't be asking you to be back, but I do appreciate you coming in. So thank you for coming on Reasonable Sanity Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This has been Reasonable Sanity Podcast.
Hands off, Ryan.
Good night, everybody.